Maurice Kogan again on why we need more U.S. manufacturers to export. Only 25% do. The other 75% just sell in the U.S. I believe we can do much better as a nation. After all, we're the second largest manufacturer in the world. I also believe that our export counselors could play a key role to get more NTEs to export. Unfortunately, I don't think they're up to the task. Whether at USTOC's U.S. Export Assistance Centers, SBA's Small Business Development Centers, or at state level export development offices. For example, USIAC counselors are very good at helping export-ready clients, but for policy reasons, they've not worked much with NTEs and are not well attuned, therefore, to NTE needs. That's understandable, but it's a fact, it's a situation. SBDC counselors don't have the same anti-NTE bias, but many still lack specialized expertise in exporting. And the state export development offices are often too thinly staffed to offer one-on-one counseling in any case. But why should we even be concerned about the 75% of U.S. manufacturers not exporting? After all, we're the #2 exporter in the world. Because despite our large total exports, we are greatly under-exporting as a nation. And NTEs represent the largest untapped potential to close the gap. What do I mean by under-exporting? For comparison, let's look at Germany, the #1 world exporter. German exports account for 47% of its GDP. The US, just 11%. 47% versus 11%. In Germany, 52% of its manufacturers export. The US, just 25%. 52% versus 25%. You see what I mean? Just think where our economy would be with numbers more like Germany's. For starters, maybe more and better paying jobs, more revenue to balance the budget, and much smaller trade deficits. That brings me to today, still pushing for more help for NTEs. In my earlier LinkedIn video, I said I had developed a new tool to help export counselors better relate to potential NTE clients. Call it the 64 Q&As for exporters and export counselors. If we're to make any impact on getting more NTEs to export, I believe we must at least deal with the disconnect between what counselors can tell export-ready firms and what NTEs need to know to start exporting. That's the main purpose of the Q&A tool. Today, along with this video, I'm posting all 64 questions in the 15 broad categories, so you can see the full extent of the subject matter covered. You'll notice that many of the later questions also deal with issues facing export-ready firms. After a few days to let the 64 questions sink in, I'll start posting each question individually, one at a time. You'll see my answer, along with direct links to related online videos and other web resources that elaborate on my answer. So it's not just me, but it's referring to many other digestible videos and other web resources to corroborate what I'm saying. I hope this will trigger your own thoughts about how to answer the question, especially if different from mine, and help lessen the disconnect between what counselors can fluently talk about with export-ready clients and what NTEs need to know. Thanks for listening. On with the 64 questions.